YouTubers, this is Bob Hickman. It is so good to be back with you. Well, before we get into everything today, I want to say thank you to all of you who come out to my recent videos. I know a lot of you have been asking about a dance party. We have that up. So if you haven't seen that, it's the video right before this. I am getting people saying they're not able to get it on their cell phones, and in some countries like Canada. So I'm sorry about that. I think it's a thing with YouTube. So if you can't see it on your phone, go to your local computer in your house or at your friend's house and check it out. Party with me. Anyways, also, I want to say I thank you for all your wonderful comments, your thumbs up on my videos. There's something going on with my computer or my settings. I am not able to personally respond to people. It freezes up when I try to respond. So I want to let you guys know I do get your comments. I appreciate it. I am going to try to resolve this hopefully in the coming days and be able to personally write to each of you like I always do. So thank you for your patience. Please know I am getting them. I'm not ignoring you guys, okay? Thanks so much. Well, today we're going to talk about a subject that I think is fascinating. It's Chinese astrology, and particularly 2014 Chinese New Year. That's right. Well, I brought you guys here. This is an old calendar that I have. I love these Chinese calendars. Maybe you see them. I always go to Chinatown every year and pick one up. This is one, actually. This is an older one. I haven't got one yet for this year. This is from 2012. But this is neat because you can see on it the Chinese symbols and the big Zodiac wheel. And the Chinese are very interesting. They have a Zodiac wheel just like us in the West. But their signs are a little different. They use animals for their signs. And that goes back to one of the ancient Chinese creation stories. And they tell a story about all the animals got together and created the world and started everything in motion. And that's a long story. But anyways, that's how their signs originated. Whereas our sign in the West, our signs originated from studying the planets and the stars. Theirs came from observing the natural world. And in Chinese astrology, they focus on the animals, but they also focus on the earth elements, such as wind, water, earth, and air. So it has a lot in common with the ancient pagan traditions and the modern pagan traditions. So anyways, very, very fascinating. Like the Western Zodiac, there are 12 signs here in the Zodiac. Now, theirs are different in that ours goes on a monthly basis. Every month you have a new sign. Theirs is an annual basis, so every year you have a new sign. And they rotate through all 12 signs in 12 years. So, for example, if you look closer here, you can see that they list, like, for example, Year of the Dragon, which was our last year, was actually 2012. It says 2012, this is 2000, 1988, and 1976. And then when we go over here, excuse me here, to our current year, the Year of the Horse, I don't know if you guys can see that, it says 2014, 2002, 1990, and 1978. So every 12 years it goes back. And that's how you can see. So here we are at 2014, and the last time we had the Year of the Horse was in the year 2002. Now, what's very fascinating to me is that the Chinese talk about the signs. Like, for example, Year of the Horse, which we're going to focus on, okay? What this year is about is horses are swift. They're fast. They move. They carry people. They move things along. So this year is going to be a year with a lot of changes. Particularly the horse is featured in issues connected to business or business success. Now, what's interesting, when I did my annual predictions, I forgot to look at the Chinese sign for the year. But if you go back and watch that video, one of the things I said is when we get into March and the spring going forward in 2014, we're going to see a lot of pickup in business. And interestingly, people now that are talking about the Year of the Horse are saying the exact same thing. They're saying this is going to be a prosperous year, a year where money starts to move and things happen. Anyways, I said it before the local pundits said it on Wall Street, but anyways, the year of the horse, that's what that's about. Now, this is a very good year. A lot of you have been writing me, said, Bob, you're worried about your jobs, you're going to lose your houses. Year of the horse is a year where you can kind of take control. Horses were, in the olden days, ridden by the high nobility. The common people may have, walked a lot. They didn't have fancy horses. That was something like the generals and the officers had. So having a year of horse means that power is back. So you can claim power for yourself. And you can say, you know what, we're going to turn this around. And that horse will carry you to change swiftly. I would encourage all of you to get a little picture of a horse or a little statue of a horse and put that on your desk or near your computer, because you want to take that horse energy into your day. And keep reminding yourself things are picking up and we're going to move along, It's actually very traditional. Every year people buy a little animal, in the Chinese culture, to celebrate the new year. And over years people have collections of Zodiac animals, which I think is kind of nice. We do that here in the West. We also do have Zodiac little sculptures. Like I'm an Aquarius, and I do have a little sculpture in my house of a guy with a barrel pouring water. So similar. We share a lot in common between both of our Zodiac systems. As I mentioned, the Chinese Zodiac focuses on the elemental energies. And this year, and I forgot to look it up, but I think it's a wind wood horse, which means basically wind is communications and wood is like building structures. So it's going to definitely be a year where things start to come together, start to build, things start to move. It's very, very fascinating as well when we, think back here. Like we can look back, and if we look back, for example, last year was the year of the snake, okay? Now, snakes are often considered challenging animals in the Chinese Zodiac. They're a little suspicious, And if we look at last year, there was a lot of intrigue, a lot of scandals. We can think about the Pope's resignation, the scandals in the Vatican, a lot of discussions about different, world leaders. So that's actually par for course with the year of the snake. But the good thing is, as we move into the year of the horse, things are moving in a more positive direction, and I think really with a lot less challenges. So now, just a word of caution here. Many of these calendars, like for example, will say, like year of the horse is the year 2014, okay? But the actual year of the horse, the Chinese New Year does not coincide with the Western calendar. So we celebrate New Year's on the 1st. But in the Chinese New Year, it may come later, usually like even a month later. So if you're somebody and you're looking up your sign, if you're born in January or February, you want to get an actual Chinese astrology book that details what month it starts. For example, I was born in 1968. Now, if you look at this calendar, well, actually, this one doesn't have it, but the older ones have it. See how old I am? And this one only goes back to 1980. But anyways, in 68, on the older calendars, it listed as the year of the monkey. But that year, New Year's, I don't believe started till like the 1st of February. So if 1968 was not actually, even though it was overall the year of the monkey, I actually fell into the year of the sheep because I was still in the previous calendar year. So this really only affects people born in January or February. But if you were born in those months, you need to probably look a little closer to find the exact date. And a lot of times these type of calendars don't do that. But they do have books, Chinese astrology books, that give the exact date. So that's one just point of caution for those of you who are born in January or February. Anyways, guys, I'm excited. I'm telling you, Year of the Horse is going to be some good stuff. And I want you guys to be part of Spirit Channel. I really think we're going to be part of all that horse energy. We're going to have things moving here, a lot of exciting videos. We're going to be keeping our horoscopes going. We're going to be doing messages from the spirit world. I'm going to take you on more UFO watches. We're going to try to do some more paranormal investigations. And we're going to have a lot more spiritual teachings here, some spell work, candle magic, Saint magic. A lot of you have been asking about the Christian saints. I do have a great devotion to them, so we're going to do some stuff on that as well. So, you know, we got a lot of wonderful and mystical things happening here at Spirit Channel. So, you know what? I'm jumping on my horse and I'm riding forward. I hope you guys will join us, and thanks for being here. Listen, keep it here. We got more coming in the coming days, and it's great to have you here. Listen, thumbs up, comments in the box below. Tell me, do you know what your Chinese zodiac sign is? And if you don't know, look it up. See if you can find it, and tell me what sign you are. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Keep it here at Spirit Channel. We got more coming. Blessings to you.